In this generation, or like not even this generation, but in this day and age, I feel like no matter what age you are, it's really easy to be hard on ourselves. It's really easy to feel like we are not doing enough. You can go on Instagram and see 21-year-olds, 19-year-olds up and down your timeline buying mansions and making millions of dollars. And if you're like me and you have a lot of goals and you put a lot of pressure on yourself, it can feel really easy to obsess over the end results, especially when you're working so hard for it. For me, I remember this time last year, I would wake up and I would feel kind of miserable, right? I didn't feel happy or excited to start my day. I was working a job that I really did not enjoy. And I felt like I was spending a lot of time in my day pretending to be someone that I was not. I was putting on a face trying to fit in with the corporate world. I was trying to fit in with my all-white team. And I felt really, really frustrated with myself for not being where I wanted to be. But if there's one thing that I've learned over the past year, it is that divine timing is everything, right? You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now in this very moment. Even if you feel like you're not, this present version of you is vital to getting to where you want to be in the future. Every struggle, every obstacle, everything that's in your way that you feel like you are facing right now is a part of this journey, and it's also a part of your story, right? You build strength, you build resiliency by going through what you are going through now. And that's not to romanticize the struggle. We don't really have a lot of choices over the cards that we've been dealt. We live in a very unequal world, but it's really about recognizing your power, right? There is power in you getting through a situation. There is power in you being able to be present, to focus on what you need to do to get to the next chapter, the next phase of your life. You are more powerful than you think, right? And obsessing over the future, obsessing over who you want to be, what you want to be doing, what you want to have in the future, obsessing over it and focusing on that end result takes away from you enjoying the journey. And so I really obsessed over this future version of myself that I wanted to be, right? I really obsessed over where I wanted to be financially, where I wanted to be with my content, what I was doing every single day to get to where I wanted to be. And to me, that felt like manifesting. Like I really thought that that was what manifesting was. I was visualizing my future at almost all times. I felt like I should have my future already because I was manifesting it so much, right? But what I didn't realize is that there's a huge difference between manifesting and obsessing over the future to a point where you are not being present. It's kind of a hard thing to balance, right? While it's really important to plan out your goals and grind every single day to get there, because it is a very necessary part of the journey, it's also about balancing that grind, that working hard mentality with a trust in the universe and a knowing that you are going to get to where you need to be, right? If your future, if where you want to be is destined for you, you will get there. While you have to work hard, you don't have to work that hard for it, right? One of my favorite YouTubers, Leor Alexandra, says that when you try to control everything, it's kind of like telling the universe that you don't need help, right? If you believe in a higher source or a higher power like I do, then you know that the universe has a purpose for you. And when you obsess over the future and you obsess over controlling how you are going to get there, when you think that you have all of the answers, you are again telling the universe that you do not need help. You're telling the universe that you have the control, right? You don't need the universe to work through you or work for you in any way because you've got it yourself. And it's taken me a long time to realize that, but as I was really obsessing over my content and what I was gonna title my videos and getting the perfect SEO and making the perfect thumbnail, I was blocking the universe from just working through me. When in reality, the second that I started following my heart and making content from the heart is when everything started working out in my favor, right? So realize that you are exactly where you need to be. Put in the work, visualize your dream self, but also live in the present, right? Allow the universe to work through you. If you feel like you don't have all the answers right now, or you feel like you're confused about certain parts of your life, allow the universe to hand you some of those answers, right? You don't have to figure that all out by yourself. You also don't have to have it all figured out right now, right? That's the fun in life. That's the purpose of life, is to have fun and to enjoy the journey, right? You are not ever going to feel like you've done enough, because I always say this, but even when you start achieving the things that you set out to achieve, there's always gonna feel like there's something more that you need to get. So recognize that the future you is grateful for this version of you right now, right? I look back at my old self, I look back at me when I was in college and frustrated and down, and I didn't think that I could ever be happy. And now I am so grateful for that girl, right? Everything that I went through with my mental health, with the struggles that happened when I was in college, working multiple jobs, signing up for Amazon, working at Amazon and being unhappy every single day, all of those things were necessary for me to get to where I am today. If I had not gone through my entire journey, I would not be here right now. Just like I know that the younger version of myself would be looking up at me right now and be so proud, I am so incredibly proud and grateful for the past version of me, right? It can feel very hard to see that when you feel like you want to be somewhere else, when you feel like you need to be doing more, when you feel like this version of you that you are at right now is not enough. It can feel hard to see the bigger picture of what's going on and how God is working through you. But I promise you, the more that you work to shift your mindset, the more control you will have over your own reality, and the more that you will recognize the power that you have in your current situation. Catch yourself when you find yourself drifting off and obsessing over the future or getting mad at yourself over the past. You don't have to meditate, you don't have to work out every single day, but find practices that do ground you and bring you back to the present. I know for me, months ago, I used to think that I did not have time for these things, right? I was so focused on grinding, on getting to my future self, on getting to where I needed to be, that I didn't feel like I had time to meditate or cook nourishing meals for myself or even work out, even though I really enjoyed doing it. But eventually I started realizing that I could find my power in these practices, right? Having these habits that ground me brings me back to the present and allows me to do my best when I am working. So there's really no better investment of your time. There's really nothing that you can be doing that's more productive than working on yourself, right? So recognize what you need to do every single day or every single week to romanticize and fall in love with your life and your journey, and learn to be grateful for every single moment and be kinder to this version of you right now. Be grateful for every single step that this version of you has taken to get you exactly where you are right now, right? The fact that this version of you even opened this video about spirituality and self-help and motivation when maybe the past you would have looked at this video and just rolled your eyes, right? And scrolled past it because you didn't want to hear it, right? Be grateful for this version of yourself, right? You are doing the work. You are taking steps to do the work. And if you feel like you're not, then that's fine. Regardless of where you are in your journey, there's always going to be areas where you can improve, right? So if you ever feel this feeling of not being enough or being unsatisfied with yourself, bring yourself back to the present, be grateful for yourself, and then explore what steps you can take next to get closer to where you want to be and who you want to be. But again, learn to love that journey. Learn to realize that life, it's always going to be a learning process, and the fun part of life is learning how to be present in it. And the second that you start realizing that is the second that you can start being happy today, right? No matter how much money you have in your bank account or how many followers you have, you are exactly where you need to be right here and right now. So stop worrying and give yourself more credit for everything that you are right now. I love you guys, and I really hope you guys are having an amazing day, an amazing week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.